My mic's muted, I knew it. Yo, 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 let me turn the music down a little bit. How's everyone doing? Settle in, settle in. We all coming in already. I see Dan Duval's in the chat. Shout out to the king himself, Dan Duval. JJW in here already throwing in the stock tickers names that he wants me to take a look at. What's up, JW? We got TH in the house. Tiger Joe. No, it's Prad Joe, baby. It's Prad Exotic. It's Prad Exotic TV. You're tuned in to Prad Exotic TV. Maybe that's what I should call a podcast. Instead of calling it the Pradcast, I just call it Prad Exotic TV, right? And get that thing going. No, I'm joking. Maybe when I'm on OnlyFans or something, then we can call it Prad Exotic. But for now, we're just gonna be hanging out, calling it the Pradcast. And you're here, currently tuned in to the trading show, where we're gonna be, discussing. Let that sound play out, hopefully. Yeah, you can hear that sound. I was just trying to make sure if you can hear that sound. The vibrations of the garage door opening were being picked up by the mic, and it were. My mom is heading out to the gym right now to go swim for a little bit. My mom has been getting on her health on, so that's good for her. Shout out to her. I guess I inspire her a little bit. Hopefully, I'm inspiring some of you guys too by changing my health, changing my habits, changing who I am. That way, we can in return change the trader we are and become a better trader. I heard a quote that said, market is a very expensive place to find out who you are if you don't know who you are already, and then to fix that is also a very expensive place too. And they're very true. They're very true. Whoever said that, because man, how have I learned about myself through this journey, and the journey is still starting, right? We were nowhere close to the end of the journey, and I can't wait to see what more can we learn. We learned something new today about ourselves. We learned about how we thought we could control FOMO for the most part, but today we let FOMO take control of ourselves today. FOMO took control of ourselves, and we traded pretty poorly. I mean, we didn't lose a shit ton of money, right? But we lost. I lost a little bit of money today. It was a pretty decent of a red day for myself compared to how much of a green day I've been having almost every single day of this month. So it was sad to let FOMO take over. And we'll dive into like what really happened deeper and deeper once we actually start showing the stocks that I traded today and kind of recapping them, and see how we can kind of nip that in the butt. Is that what it's saying? How to stop it before it kind of grows and manifests into something bigger, deeper, darker, and hurts our trading career. Hopefully through this episode of today, where you get to see a bad trading episode for me, but we're gonna try and keep it as educational, as informative as possible, and then we're gonna dive into all the possible trades for tomorrow and see how we can reverse today and kind of go back to what we were doing all of this week. Right, so why don't we start off with all of our trades on the day, and in the meantime, while I get that prepared, all of you in the chat, settle in, let me know what you traded today. Let me know how your day went. Did your day go green? Did your day go red? Did you smack some of those JBL trades? I can't wait to talk about JBL. There's so many things I can't wait to talk about. So let's dive into it. That's Bud, Prad, not butt. I thought it was butt. You nip it in the butt because, like, nip it in the bud, but I guess you're nipping it in the bud because you don't want the flower to grow. Nipping it in the bud, but then nipping it in the butt, it also makes sense because you're kind of pinching the butt of that person who's making a mistake. Kind of. I don't know, dude. I don't know what I'm saying. Listen, let's go to the market. It's bud, not butt. God, I believe you. I believe you. I don't know what I'm talking about. Bud like flower, bud. Got it. Smash the like for John Van Sewers, not for Pratt. For John Van Sewers. Hit it. Welcome. How you doing, my friend? WBA or WNBA? I mean, I don't watch WNBA, but I do watch WBA. So I guess it's WBA over WNBA for me. I guess it will be the same for a lot of you people too in the trading world. Come on, let's be real. my number one trade on the day today, my only positive trade on the day today, realistically, is Activision, a stock that's recently been moving around, got back into those $90 ranges. I think previously was never really at $90 ranges, but got back into those into the higher end of the ranges after the possible deal closing catalyst coming in. They said that the UK government's most likely looking to close that deal because Ubisoft is somehow facilitating this deal for Activision and Microsoft by taking over some of the licenses or somehow participating in distribution and helping that deal close quicker. So that deal helped them get closer to that $95 area, which is basically the price the stock should be getting bought out for. But the couple of days, for the last few days, we've seen the stock basically trend to the downside. I think yesterday there was a catalyst for Activision that came out right around this time of the day, and the catalyst was they were going to fire a bunch of workers who worked on the Hearthstone project. Hearthstone, a very old game, a game I used to play. I still play every now and then, but they're firing a bunch of Hearthstone employees. So that brought the stock down right around the same time yesterday. So this was on my radar over here. I was looking at it going down all the way down. I was like, okay, where will the bottom show up? And at some point there was no size on the book ever. But at around 93.50 there was 1,000 lots, meaning 10,000 shares. I think 1,000 lots, add 2 zeros, 10,000 shares. So around 10,000 shares sitting on the bid at 93.50. That's about what? Wait, that's 100K? No. Wait, 1,000 lots, add 2 zeros. That's 100K shares? Okay, I'm tripping. Never mind. And if you times that by 93.5, that's about $9.3 million sitting on the bid there. And right around off the open, 10, 11 or so, 10 a.m. or so, I was going to take a long off of that size and risk that size breaking, and thankfully that size never really breaks. It immediately bounced up to the north side, giving us beautiful exits. Later on we do flip into the short and we make some money to the downside too. I tried that trade again later on in the day when that stock does plummet to the downside. Sadly, at this time another catalyst comes in, but this is not for Activision. At this time the catalyst was for I think it was Epic Games, the creator of Fortnite, creator of Unreal Engine, also coming out and saying that they're going to be looking to lay off some employees. So sadly, that catalyst affecting Activision over here. Activision selling off, taking off that level. I tried the long, I get stopped out and I stay away from it. Later on, I do think about, shorting that price point where the stock previously found support at. Most likely we'll find rejections there and it will keep pushing down off of it. That was the right idea, but I just didn't push any shares or any trades over there because I already had a pretty messed up day from Micron, which we'll talk about eventually. Amazon, pretty much flat on the day for us. We do end up breaking even on this. This is right around this $125 area. It's also the pre-market high. It's also the day's high. So we try a short at the break of this range. I don't like the way I entered on that trade, so I basically get out most of that size out here and I'm back in on that trade over here, giving it that risk of the high day. So now I'm just sitting back waiting for the high day to either break or the stock, which is a lot weaker than all the other tech stocks. A lot of other tech stocks were actually positive on the day. Amazon, I think, ended negative still, maybe barely positive if it did end positive. And it was also, already trading to the downside in pre-market, and the pre-market was the most down stock in the day. For the last few days, it's been selling off with its own catalyst that it's getting sued by the FTC for monopoly problems or so on. So Amazon over here was looking for that trade to the downside if the market did sell off, and sadly the market did not sell off for myself, and market just ripped, I guess. So Amazon over here taking that stop, barely lost on it, was okay with this trade. So I think that's a trade I would have repeated, but here on out is where kind of the trades kind of get murky. So I apologize for anyone who's tuning in the first time to see these trades, because I'm better than this. I've shown you guys better trades than this in all of this month so far. Sadly, today we kind of lose all all discipline and everything from that little FOMO that kicks in. And honestly, that FOMO kicks in because you guys were watching me on the stream yesterday, looking at my charts, looking at my levels that I mapped out for you guys on the day before that, and how all those levels were basically coming into play. And it looked like if I traded yesterday, I would have made a shit ton of money and I would have had a banger day. The market just continuously sold off all day until the last 30-minute pop into the closer, whatever happened, that crazy pop. So that probably would have taken some money away from my day, but I would have probably had such a big banger day because all my trades, all my levels, all my theses worked out and we would have killed it. But sadly, we were off with an injury. We were off on the bench, on the sidelines. Today, I went with that injury still, my leg hurting on the public rides on the work and on the way home, limping everywhere. I told myself, if I'm gonna freaking limp to work and sit in my chair, I might as well make some goddamn money. So because of that thought in the back of my head that, hey, you would have killed it yesterday, let's kill it today, I forced it. I forced my trades, forced my positions, and basically got punished for it. The market god said, hey, today's just not your day, buddy. Maybe you need to relax a bit. So this is what happened with Micron. Micron, we waited for the opening drive to kind of play out and see what would happen near that 64.50 area, which is the level we were talking about yesterday. $64.50 to $64. So we were talking about that level. Sadly, I don't know what happens to me. I start getting short near 65. I add on the break of 64.50. I start getting cute with it. It starts showing me a little bit of a move to the downside and then pops right back up, stops me out. My trade over here, first trade done. Second trade over here starts off with, let me kind of maybe do this for you guys. Maybe this would be a little bit better. So second trade, we'll put this on red. All of that was basically first trade. So second trade, I add on the way back down after it stops me out. I add more onto that position, take some out covers over here. I get back more into that position because I really think that 64.50, that area that we are so right on, is actually going to break. It moves back down to that 64.50. I take cover. This is where I start ignoring all the signs. I start adding into the position, start shaving some of the position and getting back into the position near $65, thinking that, hey, this is just a fake break over here back above. It's gonna dip back down, but the market's so weak. So eventually I say, hey, Prad, just get out of that trade, and I completely punch myself out of this one, and I start waiting for the higher end of these pops because look at the tail wicks of these bodies. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe the trade is actually over here. I get stopped out. I get in on the move back down over here because now I'm FOMOing. I think that I got fake stopped out again, like the way I got stopped out over here. So fake stop out over here, and now they're gonna flush it straight back to the downside, and I'm gonna hate myself for not being in this trade. So I punch back in with the flat stop, whatever. I get stopped out. Then I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Then the trade is probably over here. I'm not trading over here. I'm just guessing. I'm gambling. A lot of guessing happening. All because in my mindset, that 64.50 area is the level. And it is. It honestly was a level. If you're looking at it on the chart later on, if you're looking at it on the chart for Micron, look at how it trades around that 64.50 today. 64.50, that's that price point. This is the 5-minute chart. Basically gives you somewhat of an inverse head and shoulders, I guess, right? So $64, 64.50 area. We basically had these lines yesterday. That line comes from that trend line that we had mapped out yesterday. Did I not say that we could possibly see the stock coming down to that trend line and then bouncing off of it? We even, planned out the possible thesis of buyers coming back into 64.50 and this trend line that the stock has been on for quite a bit now, possibly could see buying off of that trend line kicking in too, and that's exactly what happens. But at that moment when I'm looking at the level 2, I'm ignoring the chart. I'm ignoring what's actually being told to me by my own charts and my own levels that I have mapped out, and constantly fighting the trade, just getting into bad trades after bad trades, and overall big circle over here for Micron. Sadly, that one was a this one hurt today. This one hurt to break all my rules, all my discipline, not look at my own chart where I had levels, and then not even study the tape properly and get the reads properly. You live and you learn. Hopefully we don't make these type of mistakes again. So that was the biggest loser on the day. We have a couple other losers over here too, but thankfully our risk management was, immaculate on these, and I would take these trades again and again. Yes, JBL has been an insanely strong stock today. We had a bias on JBL though. We thought JBL was that headphone company JBL, or that speakers company. I don't see a lot of people using JBL speakers or JBL headphones anymore. Back in the day, it was a little bit popular. So that's what I thought JBL was. I knew they had earnings. So I just let them rip until they consolidated in the higher end of these ranges over here. Tried some shorts, kept adding. Did not take any profits when I was about $1 or so in the money. Obviously, I was expecting a bigger move to VWAP. That never came in, and then I get stopped out over here. That's trade one. Trade two, I try again in the next consolidation area. Again, I'm $1 or $1.50 in the money. Don't take profits. I get stopped out. At this point, I say, you know what? Let's do some research on this damn company, because what is going on with this company? And I look up JBL, is nowhere close to what I think it is. So JBL stock is actually Jabil, which is apparently a third-party creator. Like they make Apple cases or something. And they have 250,000 employees, so pretty big company overall, and has been out there for a pretty long time. I mean, 1966 has been on in the world, so way longer than me, obviously. I just didn't know about them. Once I did know that this is not the company that I thought it was, I stopped trading it because I don't have that read, and obviously, why even bother shorting a stock that's so damn strong on the day? Ridiculously strong on the day. Hopefully we find some trades on it tomorrow. That way we can smack some trades either to the upside or the downside. We'll be charting the stock very soon after we finish our trade review on the day. Now the FTC may reopen inquiry. Yes, I saw that, Dan Duval. They said that they might just reopen the inquiry soon on Activision, right? So what's going on over there? Come on, Activision. They're struggling though. Activision's clearly struggling to make that deal go through. Eventually, I guess it will go through, but we'll just have to wait and see. That's just a guess. I don't really work for the FTC, so I don't know. Okay, GME. GME came out with a catalyst that Ryan Cohen will now be the CEO for this company, and I think that GME movie is coming out tomorrow, or has already come out already, is in theaters. Is it already in theaters? Looks like it is. Yeah, looks like it's already in theaters in my area. Silver City, Cineplex, Queens Quay. So is that 10 p.m. today? Yeah, today. Yeah, looks like it is. It's been out there for a while. Oh, September 22nd, recently. So came out last weekend. So it's been rolling out there for a little bit. Seth Rogen's in there? I don't know that. And right after that, you got your boy Ryan Cohen getting announced as a CEO. So I took some trades over here. I added some longs after seeing that, the stock was kind of bouncing off of this level near 1750. So I took some longs with the stop right under 1750. I get stopped out. Trade one. Trade two, I kind of get back in on the move back over here with the stop near low a day. That gets stopped out. And couple other final trades over here. They both, this one was actually a profitable trade, but I'm just so fed up on the day today that I just closed the position. I don't want to trade anymore, so I just kind of mentally shut myself down and don't even want to trade anymore. And over here, same battling my thesis. Very poor trading today overall, and GME add to that basket. Lost on it. The trade wasn't even there for the long side. Clearly 18 gave out and wasn't holding. Same kind of idea for Peloton, but this one was a little bit more risk managed. I was trying to fight for that $5 area. Eventually the $5 does give out, and I just give up on this $5 area. I didn't really lose too much on Peloton or on Intel. Intel was we were talking about that $35 area for for a possible short 30 or even long. Sadly, I wasn't really thinking long today. The market just absolutely taken off to the long side. Here I am googling about how important is a 2-day VWAP, because I'm trying to learn more about anchoring VWAPs and so on. So anyways, coming back to my Intel trade, just looking for that $35 area. We did miss out on the beautiful long off that 35. Did I say 38? Just looking for that $35 area, looking for that breakout long or the short off for that reject. I sadly was only so adamant on shorting stocks today that I wasn't ready for a long on the market, and the market did rip to the north side quite well. QQQ ended up being up 0.4, S&P I think 0.5, 0.6, yeah, 0.6% up on the day for S&P 500, and taking up most of the market along with it. As you can see right here, my watch list, which I probably should add more stocks to, is nice and green, nice and green. Okay, those were the trades on the day today. Let's see if we can, wipe that day off of our memory, learn from it, not wipe it out of the memory, learn from it, grow from it, and come back tomorrow with a way better mindset and a way better game plan. So let's start with Nike, which had earnings after hours today. So let's bring in our best friend Benzinga. Shout out to Benzinga once again, guys. Go check out all my links down below for affiliate sponsorships. You'll be able to get Benzinga using my link, and it will obviously help me out if you do sign up for that offer. Let's see how their earnings came out. Nike Q1 revenue, is that the report? I guess so. 416 report coming in. EPS is this and this, but what is the estimate of the EPS? Looks like they missed on revenue, or is that the future revenue? Nike. I'm just trying to see where the report is. Nike. Let me see if they posted over here instead. Earnings schedule. That's not. It's too late. That's too late, too early. So it's got to be these numbers right here. Nike inventories were 8.7 billion, down 10% year over year. Nike Q1 earnings spotlight, EPS beat, North American sales slide, shares move higher. Ooh, okay. Nike executive DTC up double digits. DTC, direct to customer business, up double digits, and last year with increasing order values. Okay, that's good. Continue to expect reported revenue to grow mid-single digits for full year. So good news overall coming in for NKE. And here's the after-hour move for NKE. We're hopping right up to the north side. Looks like a slight miss on revenue according to TradingView. This is TradingView? Yeah, TradingView. I use so many softwares I kind of lose track at this point. And beat on EPS, and that's what Benzinga is kind of hinting at too. So here's the earnings report. Let's here's what I want to do moving forward. I kind of want to nuke all lines, nuke all the lines, and I want to focus on where the stock traded recently. Though I only want recent levels on my chart, so I can kind of focus more instead of getting too crazy about some of these levels on the upside that I get wildly infatuated with all the time. So we'll put one over there, one of the more recent levels. I kind of feel like I want to bring my levels back, honestly. Should I nuke my levels? No, you know what? Let's not nuke them. Let's just deal with the levels right now and just make new levels. So that's something that I'm interested in. See how we rejected those 3 days in a row at that price point. I'm thinking that the stock is obviously above it at that moment. So let's go to the 1 minute chart, and yeah, we're well above that price at the moment. And I also want to put in the anchored VWAP. Looks like the earnings came out right around here. Did they start doing this recently, where they put the E exactly at the time the earnings start hitting or something? Or I want it from that line. So okay, we got it from that line. This is where the earnings anchored VWAP is at the moment. You could put it from here too, I guess. Let me see how much that changes. But this is what that's a little bit different, right? Not that much different, but it's a little bit different. So I'm gonna delete the bottom one. The bottom one is kind of The first one is the craziness move. The second move and the third move is basically where we want to start counting the earnings VWAP from. So if you're looking at the earnings VWAP right now, it is showing you constant strength throughout the after hour session off that level, and it is currently around this $93 or so. So I'll be interested in that earnings VWAP. Another VWAP level that I'll be interested in is not this day's, but this day's anchored VWAP. So the 2-day anchored VWAP, let's put in that level over there. And I want to color it in a different color. We're going to start coloring these in orange colors. And that's going to be our 2-day anchor VWAP. So 2-day anchor VWAP in orange. We got our earnings anchored VWAP in blue, and that's coming in right about where today's VWAP is too, or the after hour session VWAP's coming in at. So these are pretty important levels. I like how the 2-day anchored VWAP comes in right at that price point that we just threw a line at. That's pretty cool. So that's showing you that for the last 2 days, the average price of the stock is right around $91. So if for any reason the stock pulls down to $91, you should expect buying coming off that price point. Even before we do head all the way down to $91, I'm expecting buying to come in at $93 because that's where the earnings anchored VWAP is at. So we're going to be looking out for some of these prices over here. That rejection right there, I mean, that's beautiful. The way it just lines up with that, the way that just lines up with that, I love it. So let's see how these levels come into play for us tomorrow. If we can see this earnings anchor VWAP to show support, I'm ready to go long off of that. If it shows rejection and goes a little bit lower than that, I'm ready to kind of wait for this $91 at that point. We can also maybe throw one in from this higher point, but I don't think that really makes sense. We already have a VWAP that's basically calculating all of this volume, and a VWAP that's counting the last 2 days volume for us. Couple other VWAPs that you kind of would be maybe interested in is a one from a previous gap, a 52-week high, a 52-week low. But right now, I'm not really too interested in those because those will kind of help you on a swing term scale, on a longer term perspective. But we want to see how can we trade the stock tomorrow, and based on that, these levels kind of seem interesting to me. The stock also closed at 89.63. I don't think we see that level coming back into play, but maybe I can throw a line over there at 89.63 just to have a level mapped out for myself as to where the stock closed at yesterday. But I don't think I'm going to do that at the moment. I already have an indicator that automatically does it for me. That's right here. Even though that number is wrong, I don't know why it's showing me a different number. Maybe because it's calculating the after hour trading session too. Let's go to the regular hour trading session. I'll go to hey buddy. Oh, it's giving me yesterday's close. That makes sense. Because we asked it for yesterday's close, not today's close. And then tomorrow, it should give me today's close, which should be 89.63. So that better goddamn be right. Let's see. 89.42 better be yesterday's close. Yesterday's close, 89.42. So it is right. It works, so we don't have to worry about putting in a line just to have that for us. So ladies and gentlemen, here's Nike, here's the after hour move, and that's kind of what I'm looking out for mainly. Let me turn on the after hour session again. Here's the after hour move. There's a little bit of a consolidation right around this 96, a little bit of a rejection right before 98, and we did pop above 98. If for any chance the stock starts making a move above 98 towards this 99, 105, then we obviously have more levels to start being looking out for. The stock has previously shown us some sort of support, rejection, and kind of support in this area again. So maybe we do peak back above 99. The 100 period the 50 period EMA, also comes in around this $100 price point, and the 100 period EMA comes in around that 105 price point. So I will not be surprised if for any reason the stock wants to go up to 105 tomorrow. But we'll be a little bit patient, see what happens. We got levels to the upside. Thankfully, we brought our lines back that we just nuked. Huh, chat? We just brought our lines back, or we would have had to repaint them all. That would have been crazy. Let's get this bread. Cody in the house. Angry Bear's over here. What's up, Angry Bear? How's your day? Momo's in the house. Okay. Momo doesn't usually come watch us, but now that she is, I love it. Big money made moves today. I love it. My Tesla Nvidia did just fine. AMD up 5%. Let's go. Then JJW saying Ryan Cohen's Chewy doing great, 50% up in 3 months. You want ENPH up in there? ENPH is an expensive ass stock, dude. You really want me to take a look at that? I guess so. TraderPrad, that option girl that is on Trader TV Live said she's looking to short it off of $95 if it pops up there. Also, what do you think for SPY market averages for bounce? Trader TV has a girl now? I don't know that. Shout out to Trader TV, but they did my boy wrong. They did my boy wrong. I didn't like that, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna talk anymore about it. But hey, that place is something. That place is something. They did my boy wrong. They did me wrong. They did Luca wrong. They did a bunch of people wrong. You know, whatever. Hopefully they don't do her wrong, and they don't do other people who are my friends wrong, because that's gonna really piss me off. Like Obi, like who else is on that show? Yannick. Don't do Yannick wrong. Don't do Obi wrong. That's gonna really piss me off. We'll see what happens. Coming back to Activision though. Activision is, yeah, $95 should be shorted basically, because the stock should never be trading above $95. If she's talking about shorting using options, I guess you're just buying put options. You're buying put options on that stock to go back down. But who in their right mind would buy the 94 puts or 93 puts that she's writing or whatever, however she deals with? Because buyouts work a little bit different. If the deal's closing, the stock's going to trade in a less and less and tighter range and go closer and closer towards that $95. So how are you gonna make X amount of money on options by selling something that's gonna be so tight in range and your premiums is gonna eat your ass out? So I don't know what she's talking about using options over there, but if it does go to $95, yes, the idea is with share sizes, it will be very easy to just play that trade, which is short 95 and then get out wherever possible. For example, there was a stock today that came out with the earnings report, or not earnings report, a buyout catalyst. It's a $7 stock. I'm forgetting what the ticker is. If I can find the ticker somewhere over here, where is it? Let me see. CHS. So this stock is getting bought out for about $7.60. I don't know when the deal is going to close. But since it's getting bought out for $7.60, it went up about 63% premium today. But the stock's only 8 cents away from that price now. So what are you going to see day traders do constantly? You're going to see day traders like me just short and try to take profits on any swing down with tons of size, right? And this book was thick today too, so it was pretty fun if you started trading it early. Not that fun later on for the short side. You can even think about it to the long. Since the deal is getting closed at $7.60, the stock should go towards there. So you might want to get longs on the dips and wait for the stock to make pops towards the high side and get out to the high side. For example, SLPK. SLPK is another buyout stock that's getting bought out for, I believe, $157 per share. The news was announced on this day. And ever since then, you get pops, you get drops, you get pops, you get drops, and you can keep buying every single dip until the stock moves up to 157, or until the news comes out that the deal is no longer going through and Cisco is getting cock blocked by FTC for monopoly reasons over here. So whatever happens. We don't know, but that's how the game is played. It's a buyout game. I understand that Activision game 100%. What a move on JBL. Yeah. Her name is what? What is her name? That's a pretty fancy name. I've never seen anyone with a name like that. Let me scroll up again. TraderPrad. I wouldn't take anything. Options girl says too serious. He's an absolute average. Don't say that, bro. Don't say that. Why would you say that? And why would you make me say that out loud, you asshole? You just made me read that out loud. Someone's gonna clip it and send it to her. I didn't say it. My chat did. NKE running. Yeah, NKE is moving a little bit. It looks like Trader TV average above slightly real money made being bold not average. TH don't give a shit, man. TH don't give a fuck. I love it. Dude, TZ a down chart. What's TZ? What's TZ? Nike blows. Nike does blow. I'm not a big fan of Nike, but that being said, I do buy a lot of their clothes. So I don't know. Maybe I do like Nike. TraderPrad like SPY, Canopy Development, Northwestern Canopy Development. That's sounds familiar. I think I've seen you in the other live chat before. What's good, my friend? How you doing? Her name is Adara. That's a pretty fancy name. Yeah, I never seen that one. I think Mom was talking about the guest Danielle Shea. Ah, she's talking about Danielle Shea. Yeah, I don't know how Danielle Shea is gonna make a shit ton of money by selling options on Activision to go down to like what, $94. How does that work? Obviously, this is coming from someone who doesn't trade options, so don't ask me. What a move. And looks like we did cover all the Chico's Fashion's haired over with shorts much higher. Is that what it is? Chico's Fashion? What is that? Is that a clothing brand? How did I not know this? Chico's Fashion? Why did that sound racist to me? What kind of clothes do they sell? Women's career wears? Okay, that's fine. Maybe I'm the racist over here for thinking about what it is. I thought it was like, you know, like a Chico. Like, hey, I say, hey, Chico. I thought it was something like that. Like they saw. I'm not trying to be racist. That's what I thought it was, though. But it's not that. It's a woman's work apparel, I guess. So shout out to Chico's getting bought out. Nice little deal coming in for these bad boys. Okay, so Nike, we spent this whole time just looking at Nike. We do have some nice levels mapped out. We have the yesterday's levels. We have today's levels. Let's actually quickly go into the 1 minute chart and look at that after hour bottom over there, 87. Initial move to the downside, 87. That's pretty insane to me, honestly. But I'm thinking if I need to put a line out at today's high and today's low, maybe not. Yeah, probably not. I don't think I need to. I'll just deal with it if the stock moves to that level at that point. But this is that price point that I think we're interested in. And then this is another price point that we're interested in. I won't be surprised if we start peaking above 100 and $105. Let's actually calculate the percentile of a gain that the stock will have if by going to that price point. That's about an 11% gain if the stock ends up going to the north side today of $100 or even 105, which is 17%. So Nike is a pretty big enough of a company. I can't see it doing that. So maybe we do see somewhat of a rejection around this $100 area. Kind of even make yourself visualize a pattern, right? Maybe it goes something like this. And then this is where VWAP ends up being. Could end up picturing something like that happening tomorrow off that trade. Hello, where's my drawing? My drawing looks so horrible now. But yeah, could end up picturing something like that tomorrow happening. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a nice little trade off of this 93 bottom and a breakout of 95 or something. So watch out for NKE. That one has to be on our watch list. Another stock that announced earnings today after hours, BlackBerry, but did not really do anything. So I guess no trade over there because no volume equals no trade. Come on, Papi, where's the volume at BlackBerry? BlackBerry basically did absolutely nothing. So maybe, is this even BlackBerry? Yeah, this is BlackBerry. Are we watching this on the TSX side? This is on the New York side. So we should see something in the after hours, but we're not seeing anything in the after hours for the stocks. A little bit of a dead move in the after hours on the earnings move. Currently looks like it is on a range right back to the downside. I think there was a recent catalyst for BlackBerry. If I remember correctly, the catalyst was that they are getting into some sort of security for another company. They were creating some sort of a security for another company. I can't remember what that catalyst was, but today's earnings report, I guess, was a little bit of a mixed report. No move at all. We'll have to wait and see where the stock ends up going to in the near future. Let's just quickly plot some lines over here for ourselves. One over there. Kind of want to put one over here in these areas too. And get ready for maybe some of those ranges to come into play very soon. And then quickly go into the 1 minute chart. Ignore today's, but we'll go into here and put in an anchored VWAP from back here. Where's my anchored VWAP? Oh, there it is. The 2-day anchored VWAP, which is a nice and orange line for us. And then the earnings VWAP, which I guess we don't have one. We don't have one to put one, so we'll just have to use and see how this. Wow, that music scared the shit out of me. I was like, what the hell did that music come from? And we'll have to wait and see how this 2-day anchored VWAP helps us out. Either we start seeing some buying power above it or some selling pressure below it. That's pretty crazy. The 2 days VWAP is right around this 486 area. Okay, so BlackBerry, anything else that had earnings after hours today? Not really. So why don't we now head over to stocks that had earnings pre-market today that we kind of traded a little bit poorly, and stocks that made insane ranges to the north side. So let's get rid of this anchored VWAP because we're going to put in new ones. Looks like the stock had earnings somewhere around this time. So I'll put in after that minute. So after that minute, we'll put in right over here, and then we'll have to recolor this to that color, I guess. What was it? Blue? Was it blue? No, we don't want that one. Okay, so, and that one we want that thick. What color is that? Whatever, doesn't matter. So this is the earnings VWAP right now. I guess that's basically the day's VWAP. If you see how those two prices are pretty much the same, the day's VWAP is taking the whole move from the pre-market going into today. So I guess we didn't have to really put that line out there, but yeah, since we didn't have to put that one out there, let's just get rid of that one, because that looks a little bit stupid now. We already have this VWAP, which is basically the whole earnings VWAP. And then we can take a look at the 2-day VWAP. So not this day, but this day. Even though the stock barely does any volume, and doesn't do too much volume at all regularly today, because of the reason of earnings brought in a decent amount of RVOL behind it. I want to see if the stock does pull back. How far do we pull back to the downside? And looks like today's VWAP / earnings VWAP is right around this 120 area. The 2-day VWAP is right around where the previous 52-week high, the previous all-time high, was near this $117. So let's see if we do get a pullback towards that previous 52-week high, previous all-time high. We see some sort of a buying coming in and support coming in, because obviously this is an insane amount of rally for a stock. There was a lot of buying, constant buying, non-stop, almost like a program was kicked in. This is what a buy program kind of looks like. Buy X amount of shares every single minute or every single 5 minutes. It just non-stop buy. It just never really went down. So it was an insane stock to watch. I mean, 20% for how much the market cap for this company? 16 billion market cap. So not a small company, right? So clearly a lot of moves over here for these bad boys. What's JBL scary? Yeah, JBL very scary. NKE dog stock. TH just laying it out there. I love it. TH. BB helping Mitsubishi with security. Is that what it was? Mitsubishi. Okay, so JBL, we have some levels over here, and we would kind of be interested in how the stock traded today. So we'll put a level over there, and maybe we zoom into the 5-minute chart, see if there's any consolidation areas to kind of keep an eye out for it. To consolidate over here a little bit, consolidate in these areas a little bit. So let me just do this for myself, and then maybe we can just draw a box instead. Right, so that box right there, and we'll be watching out to see how the stock behaves in that range whenever it does peekaboo back right into that lows. If we see supports coming back in there, or no buyers are here in this higher in the ranges, allowing the stock to go much lower to the downside price of 117, where that previous all-time high was, and then we can look for a possible dip buy off of that. I wouldn't be surprised if the stock is very much active tomorrow also. Just be careful. We don't know what side to. This could be that classic Williams-Sonoma setup where it goes up to the north side, traps the longs, comes back down. Talking about Williams-Sonoma, the trade did it again, ladies and gentlemen. It gave you those chances to short that same price again and again. So shout out to the stock, ladies and gentlemen. Pre-market, I was watching it, just did not have the balls to take the position because there was barely any volume in pre-market. But if you did, gave it that risk. I mean, come on, Williams-Sonoma. Every single day you're giving us these trades. Okay, so JBL was one of those stocks. CarMax was another stock that, dropped off pretty hard yesterday after hours when the earnings came out. We have a bunch of anchored VWAPs over here, so we're just going to delete all of them. Zoom out. See if we have any more coming from anywhere else. I think we do have all of them deleted now. And we have these levels over here that we mapped out yesterday. It was down more than 10% already when the stock opened. So I thought, maybe there could be some SSR bounces to come in and we can short the 76 area instead. I waited all day. Never really came into play, and I kind of just forgot about the stock at that point and where it was too busy tilting on Micron. But later on, the stock does give you opportunities to reload back into the short side around the $73 and pushed right back down. Let's go see how important those this is 26, so let's go to 26 1 minute chart. 27 26 on the 1 minute. Drop in. Wait, what am I doing? Is it on the 26th? It is the 28th. For tomorrow, we want the anchored VWAP from here. I'm doing it wrong. I knew it. So from tomorrow, we want the anchored VWAP from there, the 2-day anchored VWAP. And then now we go put in our friend, which is the earnings VWAP. So let's go put in the earnings VWAP from the earnings move, which is right around over here. We'll put that in a different color. Put that into the blue color. Thank you. And once again, I did the same mistake because obviously that VWAP is basically the same VWAP that the stock is already using to calculate the whole day with. So yeah, that's our earnings VWAP right there. Maybe we can put one down tomorrow if we need an earnings VWAP to keep an eye out for, because this one might change. I don't know if it will. I'm wondering if it will. But this is the rejection that I'm basically looking for that possible pops into somewhere around 74 to 76, so we can short CarMax. It will be on SSR day 2 again tomorrow. Keep that in mind. So it will be a little bit harder to short this stock as the bids will not be able to be punched for new entries into a short. You will have to wait on the ask for the stock to tick higher. Then only can you get short on this position. But looks like we're finding a little bit of a support right in front of $69 at the moment, and a break of 69 could give us more momentum to the downside on negative earnings report and a negative catalyst overall for said position. So watch out for CarMax. Keep that on your watch list. JBL, Asana, Workday. I think some of these stocks don't really have earnings, but they were on the watch list from other reasons. So we'll look at some of these positions over here. Workday, today might just end up being a 2-hour stream. Jesus. Okay, so Workday over here. What happened to Workday today? Lower annual revenue growth estimates of 17 to 19%. Yeah, so I knew they had a catalyst. I just forgot what the catalyst was. They sold off pretty hard in after hour yesterday, and pre-market continued selling, but held off into the ranges, traded sideways for the most part on Workday. But if there is more volume tomorrow to trade off of and some shorts to smack, I think we could look for more opportunities. Look at that level right there at 217. I'm not saying it pops up to 217 or 217.50, sorry, but look at that area. That area seems interesting to me, so I'd be looking out for any possible pops into that area, any possible drops back into this 205 for us to look for some dip buys maybe, or any type of shorts to get into based on this range that the stock traded in today. So I'll wait for seeing how the stock trades in pre-market, and I'll leave it on my watch list over here. But obviously did not have it on my watch list today to start off the day with. too much Micron on my mind all day. So missed out on possible trades over here. I don't really see a trade setup other than the opening swing drive open. So we missed out on some trades over there. Asana also popped up on our radar over here by looking at our watch list for Yahoo scanners and so on. So what's going on over here? Asana Insider bought shares about $17 million worth. Okay. But he also sold, well, 6 days ago. 700,000, 200,000, but then bought 17 million. Okay, Asana. What's going on over here? That's a solid support right there in front of $17. $16.80 to $17, showing some solid support on Asana, popping right back up to this $18. We got the 100 period, 50 period EMA, both intersecting right around that $20 price. So looks like we got a little bit of a breakout area over here, ladies and gentlemen. That $18, $19 area, possible breakout. We push up to that, go up to $20, start playing up this higher end of these ranges over here. Obviously, some insider buying coming in. It's usually seen as a good catalyst in my opinion, because if the CEO, if the company higher level executives are buying more of the company, they still believe in it, they still want it to succeed, they're not just only in it for an exit plan as most CEOs and most companies who IPO are. Cart. So it's a very good indication overall that the people who own the company, the people who run the company, want to buy more of it. So it looks like that's what's coming in over here. Maybe more investors and more retail traders kind of follow that hype over here, push the stock up to the north side. But right now we do have a level around this 1850. Let's wait to see what happens around this 1850 area for ASAN. NEE. Let's see what NEE looks like. Wow, NEE getting sold off. What do you look for in the SPY to see if the general day to be up or to be down tomorrow? Well, I just look at the SPY. If the SPY is green, it's up. If the SPY is red, it's down. I mean, it's not. It basically depends on levels that the SPY is holding up at. Are we inside a candle? Are we above a candle? So I mean, I feel like you're asking me a pretty basic question over here and you're trolling me, but you're probably not. But what do you look for in SPY to see if the general day to be up or to be down? For the market to be green, for there to be strength in the market, for QQQ to also go up, for the Apple, Microsoft's. Did I just type in AAPLS? Wow. For the Apples, for the Microsofts, for the Googles, all to show me relative strength in themselves and push up. And I also want the relative volume in QQQ and the relative volume in the SPY to be higher than 1.5 or more. I think at one point today, one of the traders on the floor was asking what the relative volume on QQQ was, and it was around 1.4 or 1.5 at the middle of the day. So that's pretty good for QQQs at the middle of the day. So if there is relative strength, if there's relative volume, and the market's clearly pushing to the upside, that's pretty clear for me right there. Like today's SPY was hovering at the open between red and green, then it went nuts upside to like 1030. Well, you wait for it to break out of the yesterday's high, I guess, right? You wait for it to break out of the yesterday's high. You maybe wait for it to get out of the pre-market ranges. It depends on if you're trading SPY or not. If I was trading SPY, that would have possibly been an entry for me. This would have possibly been an entry over here, the breakout of this range over here. So, I mean, it just depends on how you trade your positions. How you position yourself. Couple people like to wait. If I'm not saying Arun would do this. I don't know what Arun would do, but if I'm thinking how Arun would have done this, he would have waited for that higher day to kind of come into play. Look at the day how the market moved yesterday. It was a pretty deep day to the red side yesterday until it wasn't. So if by any chance the market wants to show strength, you want to see it showing up at these price points and breaking up from yesterday's high with more strength than you've ever seen in your life, kind of, right? So that's kind of what showed up today. We broke out of yesterday's high. We held yesterday's high. Where's yesterday's high? Right around there. We held yesterday's high as multiple support points. The VWAP basically magneted later on towards that yesterday's high point, and the average best price now for today and yesterday, what would that be? Let's see that. Nope, I want this one, 930. The average best price for yesterday and today included now is right around these prices. So based on this anchored VWAP that we just plopped into our chart, I would want the market to show me support around this area once again, that same line that we already have mapped out. I kind of didn't even need that anchored VWAP, but I want that market to show me support. No selling happening around these price point, buyers stepping up, bids coming up higher and higher, sellers running away from their positions and offering higher because they're scared about getting run over on their shorts, and no real selling pressure to come in at any point in the market. So a lot of things over there I said. That's, if that makes sense, hopefully. If this market goes to collapse, it would have today. Yeah, basically, there you go. Very well put, TH. If this market wanted to really die off, especially after yesterday's move, that control spam, you hear me? Spamming that control button. Especially after yesterday's move the market had, if it wanted to sell off, what was that? That was like a 0.8% and then ended up basically flat on the day. So if it wanted to sell off, it would have sold off today. It tried multiple times. Buyers came in and easy dip buy at the 2-day VWAP. I guess this is not the 2-day VWAP. This is the yesterday's VWAP. If I was trading the 2-day VWAP on the SPY, you would basically put it around here. And where would that chart come in? So right over here, as you can see, the 2-day VWAP was basically being rejected first. We were rejecting the 2-day VWAP. We were under the 2-day VWAP. We were also under that pretty significant line that I have mapped out around that 426 area for that SPY. And that 2-day VWAP is showing you rejection off the open, rejection off the open, rejection off the open. Later on, breaking above it and kind of showing you support off of that. And then yesterday's VWAP, if you had that plotted in, then that one shows you more support being built in. And this market obviously buying, stepping in, and just popping up and up and up and up. It was, the market wanted to sell off, TH. You are 100% right. It would have been today. It would have been absolute lights out for the market, and free fall Thursday would have happened. That's Chad, that's probably why I was so adamant on shorting, because I was like, this market's gonna sell off. It's gonna go to the downside. I'm gonna smack these shorts and I'm gonna print today because I didn't print yesterday. Man. I'm upset. 50,000 on my head. Disrespect. Okay, let's stop. A lot of times it goes nuts into a headlines catalyst. That they do that sometimes. Sector rotation indicated a lot of stocks cut loose by MGRS. What is MGRS? What is MGRS? Remember equal weight QQQE, QQQM, VOO, and other exotics. You did that on purpose. I know you. Can skew classical volume measurements. Okay. What time do you start each time? Michael Anthony. We start every day at... Oh, by managers. By hedge fund managers. I get you. Michael, each day we start at 8 o'clock, Monday to Thursday, my friend. Monday to Thursday, 8 o'clock until we run out of stocks to talk about. And sadly, today, we're nowhere close to running out. We are just getting started. Okay, so Micron. Where are we on this one? I'm gonna have to kind of maybe nuke some of my lines. I said that, but no, I'm not gonna nuke any lines. I'm gonna have to put in some new charting tools over here though. I'm gonna quickly get rid of that anchored VWAP because I want a thicker line for myself, and I want one from the earnings move. Why? That's not the earnings move. Why is it over there? The earnings supposed to be here. Yeah. What? Go to the 1 minute chart. That's not the earnings move. When did the earnings come out? The earnings came out somewhere over here, right, chat? Earnings was yesterday pre-market, right? Am I tripping? Yes, yesterday pre-market. Sorry, after hours. So it looks like that was the initial earnings move reaction. So we're gonna ignore that one and pin it from here, and that's gonna have to be in a bluish color because we want the earnings VWAP from there. And then after we have the earnings VWAP mapped out, now we want the not today but this day's move from here on out. So that way we are ready for tomorrow. This will have to be in an orange color. And now let's take a look at how this bad boy lines up for us tomorrow. Looks like we are right around these price points. Look at that goddamn rejection. Look at this rejection earlier. And then afterwards, it basically showed you buying, Prad. All you had to do was look at your goddamn charts and trade it properly. Oh, I'm so agitated at myself. Why don't I look at my trading view charts? I get like sucked into the stupid level 2, and I don't look at charts anymore. I just don't look at charts anymore. That's a big problem that I have. I have 4 screens, but I just get sucked into the level 2. I'm like, oh, matrix, numbers moving. Like I'm a casino addict or something. Jesus, bro. All right, enough ranting. Let's look for trades. So here's our 2-day VWAP, this day and this day included. So we will be watching how the 2-day VWAP will be affecting the stock going into tomorrow. The earnings VWAP is also plotted, so we got that one going. And if we do want some more, we can kind of put in a 52-week high or 52-week low. But like I said, those are really for a more longer term swing term scale setup. Right now we don't need those, and we have some lines and levels already mapped out. One of the traders on the floor today said this area was a little bit more important than my level, so I just want to see why. Yeah, I guess I see why he's saying 68. Look at the amount of times the stock found a bottom at 68, eventually breaking down off that earnings report. So if by any reason we do pop into this recent support area, which could be a new resistance area near 68/67.83, looking for that price points to show us some shorts to lay down on the stock on that pop. I think I'm just gonna remove this line because this line is pretty useless. It didn't really help us out today by any means. Let's actually zoom out and see where that line comes from. It comes from that bottom though. Yeah, I don't think I want to remove that line. I like that bottom, but it's a pretty old bottom. That's a May 2022 bottom. But yeah, I'm not going to remove it just yet. We're just not going to keep that much emphasis on that line anymore because it's not one of the more recent levels. And we are now looking at this level to the upside and these levels to the downside and our anchored VWAPs that we just plopped in. So Micron, for those of you who are looking forward, mostly to the short side, shorting off of 68, 64.50 breakout to the downside, or looking for these anchored VWAPs to show me some sort of a rejection. Okay, we don't need BlackBerry. NEE, we were looking at NEE, but then we got sidetracked by the chat, I believe. So let's pull up NEE. Was this an earnings play? No, it's some sort of a downgrade, I guess. 296 from 105. Isn't that a downgrade? 272 from 88. $280 from 82. Why does it say adjust? So you're not basically downgrading it, but you're adjusting the target and keeping it in line rating. Either way, the stock is well below the goddamn price that you're quoting, because look at it drop to the downside today. So insane drop yesterday, insane drop today. So new 52-week lows coming in at the moment for NEE. Not sure if there's a bigger catalyst and a news for these drops at the moment, and if there is, you obviously want to be keeping an eye out for how those news catalysts play out, or what those news catalysts even are. In the meantime, I'm just gonna drop in my 2-day anchored VWAP. Get ready for tomorrow. If by any chance we do get some sort of a pops over here to the north side, get ready to maybe short that. And just off of how the stock traded today, looks like there's some sort of a level over here, or a range. How big is that range though? It's about $1. I don't want to give it $1's range. I don't even know this stock. Why would I give it $1's range? But sometimes you would have to, right? It's not about what you want to, it's about what the market's telling you to do. And looks like, yeah, look, 58 to 57. We basically ranged here for quite a bit. There was a little bit of breakout upside, breakout downside. I guess you don't even have to count that as a breakout. This is where we traded for a long period of time in that dollar, eventually breaking down to a newer low. But if for any reason the stock wants to pierce back above this range and move back to these $59, $60 areas, would be more than happy to look for a short. If there is volume tomorrow, today's volume 31 million shares compared to a 13 million average, so clearly bringing in a lot of volume over here for NEE. I would keep that on my watch list. CCL, you popped off today right before your earnings come out tomorrow. You go, girl. So shout out to CCL. And we do have a lot of recent levels on CCL. Look at that beautiful bottoms near 15, which will now come into act as a top in case it's a negative report. And if it is a positive report, possibly break through from that 15 and start going all the way up to 1635 and so on. So we'll be very excited to see how CCL trades tomorrow. Earnings are pre-market, so I'll have to wait to put in my earnings anchored VWAP, but what we can do at the moment is get ready by putting in the 2-day VWAP. That way we don't have to do it tomorrow and forget to do it tomorrow for some reason. So here's for any reason that support should come in on this position. Should be around these areas, somewhere around $14 to $14.30. And even if you pull back over here, the resistance of 15 could burst through on a positive earnings report, and if it's a negative earnings report, that resistance of 15 will be something that I would love to short. I don't think we'll see that. I think the stock will just immediately plop to the downside over here and kind of trade around these prices, and maybe breakdown of those prices is somewhat of a trade being offered for us to watch out for. So CCL, we're just gonna quickly have that level thrown out for us to watch out for, and then we're pretty much done. I think we can erase this line too, because that one's just a trend line for a single day, and that one's not really necessary for us anymore. So get rid of that one. Out you go. Tesla 240, man. What a hold of 240 every single day so far. We kind of get to it, we maybe dip under it, we pop right back up to it. We do this constantly, and that 240 has just shown monster support so far. Today, I guess what the low was 238, 239 ish, but the fact that we're once again closing above 240 every single day is enough. I mean, this pissed me off quite a bit. The fact that we nailed the bottom over here on Tesla, we also nailed the bottom or top at one point on Amazon yesterday, so that pissed me off too, and that's why we FOMO'd and pretty hard today. Anyways, 2-day anchored VWAP on Tesla, having that one ready just to go, ready to go for any reason that we need to pull the trade out of that one. Let's also plop one for Amazon somewhere around here. Look at that, right? Pretty much rejects it for quite a bit, and then rips past it later on. Shout out to Amazon on that, but you would have technically been looking at the anchored VWAP from this point if you were looking at today. So let's see how that one works. Wait, that's not today. This is today. That's the level right there. So the 2-day anchored VWAP was right around $125. And it does pull up, or sorry, $126. It pull up there, and it basically trades sideways there for the most part. And it closes around those prices. Not surprised by that at all. Rejected that pretty hard over there. Okay, so we have these two bad boys in. We'll look at today's VWAP. We'll look at the the 2-day VWAP, see if for any reason the stock does pull in around these prices near 125. If there is any buying coming in right off the open, if there is, it's got to be right here. Okay, it's no magic that the best price for the stock today and the best price for the stock yesterday happens to be 22 cents apart. That's not magic. Okay, the market moves very smartly. So if math is telling you that there is something over here, we want to be keeping our eyes out for that. And the chart is also telling you that there is something right around here and right around here. So you want to be ready for those levels too. A nice little inside day for Amazon. But let's see if we can break out of those inside days, start moving back to 130. If the market has a good day tomorrow, which we're expecting it to, I mean, QQQ had a pretty nice bounce right back into these lows, or right back above these lows. SPY also bouncing back above these lows. So expecting the market to have a good day, but also Friday. You guys know what Friday means for me, free fall Fridays. But I'm going to be very careful saying that out loud because I don't want to have a strong bias which will screw my day over tomorrow. Okay, no strong biases. We only play what the market tells us. Only play what the market tells us. Let's go to Peloton, because I need to put in some anchored VWAPs on Peloton over here. We were looking at this anchored VWAP and then this anchored VWAP on Peloton. If you just kind of go into the 1 minute chart, you see how those levels kind of came into play today. But then I was just so confused off of all these anchored VWAPs, and some of them were, you know, old levels. Maybe those buyers are dead, and I kind of want to also look for one from this catalyst. This is where the Lululemon catalyst came into play on the stock. So let's see. We'll put in an anchored VWAP from that Lululemon news. Basically downside since that whole move, man. Wow. Chat, look at that. That Lululemon news anchored VWAP. Maybe, yeah, I want it from that candle. Screw it. The Lululemon news anchored VWAP showed you rejection pretty much after hours, pre-market, opening, throughout the day. Come on, man. Instead, I'm here trying to fight the longs at $5. Right? It's a learning. It's a learning game, guys. It's a learning game, right? You gotta be willing to always learn new things, find new things to better your game. I'm watching these SMB Capital guys talk about, you know, the 2-day VWAP so much these days. This is a post from Bella Fiore from 2012, a 2-day VWAP trade, right? So I'm reading these 2-day VWAP things. I'm watching SMB Capital post about these 2-day VWAPs and so on. So I'm learning more and more about it. I'm loving it. So not only does the 2-day VWAP, but also VWAP from a significant event that takes place, such as earnings or a news catalyst, shows you clear rejection over here. Now, if we put in not today, well, for tomorrow, we want it from this day. The 2-day VWAP for tomorrow will be from this day. But the 2-day VWAP for today should be from here. So let's kind of plop that bad boy in, see how that one looks. So that one's right here. As you can see, first we break through it, kind of reject it, and then pop above it. A little choppy around this area. We do get under it, but then pretty much settle around that price point. So that 2-day VWAP, I don't think it helped us too much. It was more this news catalyst VWAP that helped us out. So this is the one that I might be more interested in for tomorrow, more than this 2-day VWAP, because this one's kind of dictating the game. This is the buyer or seller, whoever's you know, making the game over here is kind of dictating the move at the moment. The VWAP from yesterday going into today also showing us a little bit of a rejection around these prices. So I'll be interested to see. But look where yesterday's VWAP closes, right? Where yesterday's VWAP closes is where the stock exactly found bouncing from. So buyers coming in, that's pretty interesting too. But tomorrow I'll be interested to see if this catalyst VWAP shows us some rejection, or this earnings 2-day VWAP, sorry, not earnings, of this 2 days VWAP shows us some rejection, or both of these get burst through and then turn into supports, and now we start trading above these levels to the north side. So looking out for Peloton, another trade. I guess this would be technically day 3 trade on Peloton. Is that right? Shake the 8-ball is tomorrow, Free Fall Friday. I don't have an 8-ball, man. You guys need to send me an 8-ball. Send me whoever created an 8-ball for the last last show that I used to work for. Who sent that? It wasn't Dan Duval. It was someone with a D. Someone with a D. I forget their username. Amazon still looks bad. Amazon goes lower. I mean, I don't want to predict it, honestly. I don't want to predict if it goes lower or higher, but I will play whatever direction it goes to. I don't want to have a bias. I'm a day trader. Biases are useless to me. I just my job is to go out there and apply risk management and probability. Risk management and probability to a trade, and hope that, well, hope is a bad word to use. Risk management and probability, and when you have statistics to back you up on exactly how a certain trade or how a certain setup has proven to make you money or proven to take money away from you, now you have the statistics, and now you're just playing that probability game all day, right? Probability game, manage your risk, look for that 3:1 ratios. And even if you're wrong 25%, even if you're right only 25% of the time, you still end up breaking even on the day, right? Sadly, I only had 1 winning trade today and 7 or 8 losers, and 1 loser that basically was 2 times the risk that I usually allow a stock. So that's where a lot of my anger, sadness, my crying today comes from. The crying today. I'm never going to financially recover from this. Prad Exotic TV, please subscribe, hit the like button, or I'll have to go work in McDonald's, please. I don't want to work in McDonald's. Please. All right. Okay. Tesla, Palantir making some leaps and bounds over here, ladies and gentlemen. It's making some moves right back to $16, and that $16 area has been something that we have been keeping an eye out for a long time now. So let's wait and see if that $16 price point comes into play tomorrow. Do we get a breakout of that 16? I'm just putting in a 2-day anchor VWAP for any chance the stock comes down tomorrow to test this 1550 area. I'll possibly look for some longs. It also happens to be right around this day's high / this day's low, so we'll be looking for seeing if where the stock settles down for some buying opportunities, or does it break through this level, start going down lower and lower, and go right back to 14, which I doubt it will. I think we just see a range between 15 to 16 tomorrow on Palantir. But shout out to Palantir for even making that beautiful run back up to that $16 area. This is that range that we've been talking about for a while now. So let's go PLTR. Keep that on your W list. NIO, I don't see myself trading it. Wait a minute. Hold up. It's back to $9. Possible shorts off of $9 on NIO. Let's just stick to our routine, right? Our routine now will be every day we're going to put down the 2-day anchor VWAP. Get ready for the next day. The 2-day anchor VWAP, and now we just wait and see how the stock behaves on the way down at yesterday's VWAP, on the way down at today's VWAP, sorry, not today, 2-day VWAP, or on the way up to where it's newer levels that it's making a way to, some other levels that we have mapped out, such as a 9, maybe even 10 or so on. So we'll have to be a little patient over here to see what NIO will set up for us tomorrow. But right now, I'm thinking a nice little short off of 9 tomorrow, short off of 9. Apple is, I mean, just want to bang my head against the wall over here. Look at that high that we got, man. I mean, where did that VWAP come from? I don't know why it comes from there, but it comes from there. Why does the VWAP come from there? Why this day? Not sure why that day, but that VWAP comes from there. I don't care. I'm gonna delete it anyways. Delete that bad boy. Do we have any other anchored VWAPs anywhere? Show yourselves if you are somewhere. Yeah, I don't see any more anywhere. So perfect. Now we're gonna put in one over here for tomorrow. Okay, and come on, guys, look at that. Look at the synergy over there. 2-day VWAP and today's VWAP, both around that same price, and a significant level around that same price. 170.50. I think Amazon had some sort of a synergy like this today to us for us on charts. 125. Anytime we see that kind of confluence synergy showing up, we want that level to be pointed out to us so we know what to watch out for right away. Okay, and this 172 high, nice little rejection off that. We could possibly break through that tomorrow, start making a run back up to the north side on Apple. Apple looked a lot weak recently, but now, you know, some relief rallies coming in on the market, thankfully. So maybe Apple can hold that 170 and start making a run back up to the north side. We'll just have to pray and see if that 2-day VWAP and today's VWAP show us some sort of a buying, because they show that the average price, the best price for the last 2 days, including today and yesterday, is right around 170.50. So we're expecting buyers to come in right around that price. And we actually even closed at that price. We even closed at that price, which is amazing. Okay. NVIDIA. We haven't been trading NVIDIA for quite a bit now. But maybe there's some trades. I mean, we've been talking about this constant stair step every single day. We talked about this yesterday. So it's time to start looking for some trades on this bad boy. We missed out on some trades over here today. We do have some anchor VWAPs. Let's get rid of 5 anchor VWAPs over there. Why are there 5 at the same price? That's crazy. So let's get rid of those ones and start putting in some new lines over here. This is today. This is yesterday. So we want from yesterday, including today for tomorrow. Yesterday, including today for tomorrow. See how that area plays out. This is the trend line. I'll kind of ignore it, but it's there on my charts. This is obviously that big 420 area. We'll keep watching that beautiful 420 area as if it does come into play tomorrow. But I honestly think we will see some supports coming in well before 420 on this stock. The way it's been slowly stair stepping every single day to the north side is pretty bullish, man. Pretty damn bullish on NVIDIA. So shout out to that stock. Does not want to end red at all. Intel had a pretty strong day today. I think we do have some anchored VWAPs right now. Look at that 52-week high anchored VWAP. We have one from the 52-week low over here. We have another one from... where the hell is that coming from? Get rid of that shit. Get rid of this one too. We'll kind of get rid of the 52-week low one because... where is that heading to? It's heading over here. So we kind of don't need that one at the moment. We have... one over here from this anchor point. Not sure why I anchored it from there, but that one's got to go. We have one that's anchored from this point. Not sure why I did it. It's probably an old anchor point, honestly. A couple, 2-3 days ago. That's why it's probably still there. So we'll get rid of that. But I am interested in the anchor point from this area, from the 52-week high, because looks like the stock is kind of stair-stepping into that area at the moment. So let's plop one over here. Get ready for that one. Even though it's orange, orange is only for the 2-day. We'll leave that one in orange at the same. You see that line on the chart? You see that line on the chart? Look at that line on the chart. The 52-week high anchored VWAP on the 1 minute is basically showing you where the stock could possibly find rejection today. And it did so perfectly. All right, so perfect. Okay, now let's put in the anchored VWAP over here. Okay. Okay. And, oh, look at that. Nice support coming off of that one. And okay, now we got a possible move over here for tomorrow to look for. We got today's VWAP to look for. We got tomorrow's VWAP or yesterday's VWAP also coming in. And the 52-week high VWAP showing us possible rejections. But if we start trading above the 52-week high VWAP on Intel on the 1 minute chart here, ladies and gentlemen, that looks like a slam dunk long to me. Slam dunk long. Okay, get ready for some nice moves over here on Intel for any chance upside. I can't wait. Can't wait. Looks like some moves over here are incoming. Where's my watch list? Watch list, where are you? Okay, Disney, not too interested with that one. We're still waiting for that catalyst to really play out. The $80 level you can kind of watch out for. The Netflix is still in that same kind of basket. We're waiting for that Guild Association deal to kind of finish to really see if there's a play there. But for those of you interested in a nice little trade whenever that catalyst does hit the newswire, I think Disney and Netflix should be on the watch list for any moment those do hit. Lucid, we were very bearish yesterday. We were not buying this bullshit move, and we thought that it would go right back down, but it is now holding above that previous 52-week low of 550. So it looks like Lucid over here wants to go to war, and I'm ready for it. So let's put down this 2-day anchor view up on Lucid. Have that line plopped out for us right around 550, which is the previous 52-week low and the previous all-time low also. So now that that price point is kind of showing up over there, I'm interested to see how that plays out. We'll maybe put one over here too. Are you kidding me? That was the bottom today? Insane. Okay, so we have a couple anchor view ups over here. I might want to put this one at a different style, honestly. We'll do that. Okay, so that's the 52-week low over there. Can I put some text on there? Oh, that's not how it works. Okay, I thought that's how it works. Style. Can I put? No, I can't put text on there. That sucks. Aw. All right, whatever. So that's the 52-week low anchor VWAP, or the new all-time low anchored VWAP. That's the 2-day VWAP, and now we're getting ready to see if any buying comes in around these price points for Lucid to keep it higher and higher for any damn reason. I mean, I guess Rivian and Lucid are getting upgrades because you know, Rivian said that they're getting a new higher demand and they can't keep up with their demand and so on. So Lucid kind of gaining some traction off of that Rivian catalyst overall. But you guys know how I'm not buying anything that comes out of Lucid's mouth ever. Not buying it, dude. Just not buying it. Where does this anchor VWAP come from? Let's see where that one is coming from. I guess that one's a previous 2-day anchor VWAP, so we can get rid of that bad boy. We don't need that anymore. We'll zoom in under the chart. Get this one plopped in for us right now. Get me going with this one. Plop that one there. Bop, bop, bop. Style. We want orange and thick AF line, baby. Thick AF lines. Okay, and bang. Now we're ready to see how the levels might come into play. We're still watching that 22. I mean, look how easy support long 22 it gave you yesterday, and we were pissed off about that too on stream, and also another reason why we sucked today. So let's see if that 22 level does come into play tomorrow. If not, we do have other levels to the upside over here on Rivian, 2350, 2450, and a bunch of other ranges to the upside. Recent upgrade for RIVN. Peloton, I think we did Peloton. Did we do Peloton? Yeah, we did Peloton already. XOM. Let's go to XOM, because XOM has been making some moves recently, so I want to look out for how the stock trades. It looks like I do have an anchored view up already down. Where is this one coming from? Oh yeah, this is the 2-day anchor view up, so we can get rid of that one, and we'll put one for tomorrow, which will be right over here. Okay, so that one's plopped in for tomorrow. We're ready to go, and we already have. Oh, look at that, man. That's insane. Look at that price merging. Literally pennies away from each other. Basically, the best price for this day and this day included is at that spot. Get out of here. So we'll put that one in our level. We kind of had 119.50 on our charts already, so we'll put 119 to 119.50 as a level to watch out for, a range to watch out for. Banks, I don't want banks on my chart. I'll kind of remove them. I don't even trade banks, so no watch list over there. But this is the watch list right now, ladies and gentlemen, that we are kind of excited for tomorrow. If for any reason other stocks come into our watch list, you know, for pre-market catalyst, for randomly some stocks start moving, some low float, some small caps, then we'll put that watch list. We'll put them in our watch list later on. Kenvue did 10 million shares. Okay. But it didn't really do anything afterwards, though. Didn't really do anything afterwards. Yeah, it didn't really do much even after. It did not bring in 10 million shares. Stop lying to me. Stop lying to me. Apparently, they brought in 10 million shares, but I'm not seeing it on Kenvue. Looking for any stocks that we might have missed out. Dash up 3.5%. Somebody in our Discord server today said they were having some issues with Dash. Maybe that's something going on over there. Not sure if there's any actual trade over behind that. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not seeing anything moving with a lot of volume after hours that we might have to be interested in, other than NKE did 4.8 million shares. NVOS, a penny stock, did 53 million shares. And a couple other penny stocks over here that did a lot of volume, but for the most part, the stock that did a lot of volume was NKE. CIVI was a index change action, so you don't have to worry about that one. I don't think that was gonna be in play tomorrow for you, anyways. So yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote for today, guys. I think this is the watch list that I'm excited for tomorrow. We have everything charted, we have everything mapped out, leveled out. You know I'm not trading forward. Let's get that one out of my watch list. Let's move these two a little bit lower. Move these two a little bit lower. QQQ and SPY were just there to kind of chart for you guys. So we'll move that out of the watch list too. BlackBerry will leave up there. Oh, you know what I am missing? The uranium stocks. Where are those ones? So we want these ones. Uranium, UEC, and maybe a couple of these ones down over here. So we're not done yet, chat. ARM, UEC, DKNG, Meta, and DKNG and Meta. So okay, DKNG, Meta, SLNO maybe. We can chart SLNO. We'll also chart KOS real quick. Okay, so let's do that. KOS, SLNO, FEMY, DKNG, and Meta. Okay, Meta actually successfully traded above 300 today. We were talking about how we wanted to be part of Meta 300, but then our brain just completely farts on us and we forget to trade the 300 breakout. So there goes Meta right through 300. Monster move to the north side. We've farted so hard on the day completely, but let's see if we can fix that tomorrow. So let's put in some anchored VWAPs. Get ready for all these moves tomorrow, and not be lacking last second. Nice little dip buy over there if you were looking for it, but obviously this is not the indicator that I would have had for tomorrow. And now we're looking for some levels on the upside, some levels on the downside. That 300 level still stands like an absolute dip buy area. If we do dip down to 300, 298 area, I'll look for that longs on Meta. We also got SLNO, KOS, and ARMS. Let's go to KOS because I think this one, yeah, look at that 830 area. We had that 830 level mapped out yesterday. 830, 855, and that $8. $8 didn't really show up for you to dip by today, but I guess tomorrow, if that 831 breaks up for a move up to 855, we're looking for that trade tomorrow, and possible rejection of 855 for a short back down on KOS. UEC is a uranium stock. We were pretty excited for UEC to pop into these ranges, but with the way it traded today in pre-market going into the open, I did not expect the stock to basically do this. I did not expect it to do this. I thought it would just kind of trade sideways, so I had it off my watch list, ignored it, and I did not have alerts set up for the stock either, sadly, and I missed out on a nice little short attempt or a long attempt, whatever it is, missed out, so I'm not going to miss out this trade tomorrow. UEC, what is the 2-day VWAP looking like on this bad boy? Let's put in the 2-day VWAP on this one from here. And that's right around this prices. So right around those lows is looks like a nice little dip buy spot if for any chance we do dip buy tomorrow and have another run up to the north side for a new 52-week high. I mean, uranium has been very much in play recently. URA is your uranium ETF for anyone who wants to take a look at it. Look at that new high coming in today on the 52-week high for the ETF itself. So obviously stocks in that ETF or stocks in that sector should kind of follow it. SLNO, ladies and gentlemen, this stock is bonkers, right, to say the least. So let's pull up SLNO right to this low and put in the anchored VWAP from there, because that's all. Are you guys seeing this? Like, are you guys seeing this? Look at this beauty. Holds at every point. Whoever's gaming the stock, they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. So they're buying it up, squeezing them shorts, burning the games that are being played on this game every single day are beautiful. So here's the anchored VWAP from the gap up, I guess, including the after hour session. Including the after hour session since it gapped up. Including that, I also want to be looking out for a possible anchored VWAP from the 2-day anchored VWAP. So the 2-day anchored VWAP will most likely show us some support near $24, $21, some support expected slash $20. We're looking for that $20 hold to come in. If for any chance SLNO does not hold 20, I think that day short to the downside is woohoo, gonna be a monster ride. So watch out for that one. We have some levels mapped out. FEMY, I mean, do I even need to put any other level besides $1? I've been saying this $1 on FEMY for so long now. I mean, look at this anchored VWAP. That's pretty much from that move up, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, that one. Hold up, we gotta do something different over here. Where is that anchored VWAP coming from? This one. Yeah, so that one is coming all the way from back here. So we are correct on that assumption. Maybe we can get rid of that one. I mean, it's a little bit of old one. You know what I mean? We'll get rid of this one. This is the from the gap up. So where is that? Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. Okay. And now we have. Let's go to the 1 minute chart. And now we can kind of actually look at the gap up. Okay, bang. So from that move onwards, Femi should technically show us support around that area, but we actually traded it below that area at some point. That's surprising to me. Yeah, look at that rejection of that anchored VWAP at one point. All of this pre-market, all of that day so far, rejecting that anchored VWAP. Eventually today, getting above that anchored VWAP, that $1 support coming back in, that true support of $1, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it does not want to break that level. Can I just kind of put a Alt H, I believe is the area or the way to do that. So yeah, Alt H, coordinates $1. So put it at the $1 area. If for any chance we do get a dip buy opportunity right back at that $1 low, I would love to be part of that game. Once again, I was not part of it today, missed out. Some traders on the Day Trade the World Trader TV floor took it. They posted their charts. We review each other's charts every day. They posted their charts. I saw a couple traders took that Femi long, so shout out for that one. But I sadly, who had it on my watch list for multiple days, did not trade it. So that's a little sad. That's a little sad on my part. Okay, DraftKings back above our average price, but still struggling to get back to 30 at the moment. I thought 30 would come into play today, but never really pulled back to 30. So I guess we are now looking for, you know, once again, the same. Delete this one. We don't need that one anymore. We're looking for those 2-day VWAPs. Two-day VWAP. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. The 2-day VWAP is exactly the same as yesterday's VWAP and today's VWAP and the whole 2 days VWAP. So the best price for this stock for 48 hours, I guess, even though it's not 48 hours, it's 16 hours, it's $29. Or yeah, $28.95, $29. So pretty solid trading sideways around 29. Yeah, it teeters around here and there. So this is a decision point, right? Decision point a level that people really need to figure out what they want to do. This is probably where you don't want to be making a decision. You want to be making a decision on the edges. This is the decision point in the middle, right? So you want to be a little careful. I'll rather wait for that 30 once I see a clear rejection of these areas showing up tomorrow for me, then I'll probably look for that short, especially if the market's red too. So this 29 decision area on, I think we already plotted meta, didn't we? Yeah, we already did. So we're good on meta. What are we missing? ARM and KOS? I guess so, yeah, KOS and ARM. So KOS, no, I thought we did KOS. Yeah, we already did KOS. We just don't have the 2-day VWAP put down on this bad boy. So let's go quickly do that. This day. I want it here. Okay, so that's ready to go for tomorrow. Save. Hello? Save. Thank you. Okay, that's KOS is done. UEC is done. Last but not least, we have ARM. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everybody coming out today, obviously, showing me all the love, all the support. I do have more stocks in the chat that you guys want me to take a look at. You know what? I'll do it. I'll do it. I got nothing better to do with my life. I only want to go play video games and, you know, have some life outside of trading and have some life outside of the market for once. But no, I'm not allowed that. Fine, I'll look at more stocks for you guys. Fine, whatever. Okay, let me quickly put some lines down over here. For ARM, I mean not lines, sorry, some anchored VWAPs down for myself. Anchored VWAP from there. 2-day anchor VWAP from there. I kind of, you know, want to zoom all the way back into the IPO date. Is it going to show me that? Fuck you, man. Is IPO day 18th September? It's not. Damn it. Okay. Whatever. IPO day. Do I want it from this low? I guess since we held that low so strongly, I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind it. Just changing the style of these so I don't get confused by the 2-day VWAP or the earnings VWAP. So that's the thinner lines are gonna be the larger time frame anchored VWAPs, and the thicker and the different color lines are going to be the more important for intraday trading for me, just so I don't get confused by it. So based on that, here's the 2-day VWAP, here's the 52-week low, or I guess either the IPO or the all-time low anchored VWAPs all around these prices right now for ARM. And obviously that 56, 55, 50, $55 previous levels that were very, very important on this level. Wow, I did not see it do this at the end of the day. That's monstrous. I mean, that 55.50 breakout gave you an instant 50-cent pop to the upside. So shout out to ARM. If ARM does bring in some volume tomorrow, I'll be interested in that. That is my final watch list for tomorrow. And you guys just keep giving me more and more stocks to take a look at. Stop! I want to go play video games. Nvidia's French officer rated. Okay, my head is hurting looking up there. Is there any way I can bring this chart down, chat message box down here? Screw it. I can't. Not right now, at least. News on Dish. Dish ranked #1 in customer satisfaction. Shut up. No one uses Dish, bro. No one uses Dish anymore, man. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. No one uses Dish anymore. Amazon toast until their fines are announced. Until then, short or avoid. I like that thesis. I think market won't do much tomorrow because of the government shutdown. Could be Saturday at midnight. Ooh, okay. Sell the news event. Yes, sell the news by the rumors. Again, remain flexible. Don't get too bull or bear. There you go. Don't get too bull or bear. 100% is the way to go. You want me to take a look at BA. So the first stock from the list of stocks in the chat that people want me to take a look at is the one I saw first was Boeing. Wow, what happened to Boeing? Did another plane fall out of the sky? What happened to Boeing? Okay. 8.1 million is nothing though. It's the cost of a, isn't the cost of a plane like they sell is like 100 mil? Well, Boeing getting absolutely destroyed. I did not know about this. I have not looked at Boeing in a long time, guys, okay? So even though I have not looked at it in a long time, I have some levels over here that, you know, maybe are interesting. So watch out for those levels to the downside. Let's quickly take a look at the 2-day VWAP first. Get ready with that one. I think we might just have to be putting Boeing on the watch list for tomorrow. Hello? Orange. Thick, thank you. Go back to the 1-minute chart here for myself. That's where the 2-day VWAP is coming in at. If we kind of zoom out now and put in a VWAP from the 52-week high and change that one a little bit for ourselves, not so thick, and go to a different color, please. Don't want one from the 52-week low because that one's going to erase very soon, and the 52-week low is basically going to end up like this very soon. So at that point, those levels kind of are negated. So the only level I'm interested in now on the way down is this 188, 190 area for Boeing. Thank you for putting this one on my radar because I did not know this was happening to the stock. So now if we do push down over here, expecting some buying to come in, if that one breaks, there's another level down there, much lower. It's 170. So watch for Boeing. I mean, before 170, there is this one right here. Couple bottoms came in at 180, so nice little $10 ranges to the downside if Boeing does manage to push towards the downside over there. Cybersecurity, good sector, is a good place to be in, not just to trade but to invest, in your opinion. In my opinion, cybersecurity is a lie. It's a scam sold to people like insurances, so I don't believe in it. But I see what you're talking about. You know, PanW. Other cybersecurity companies are doing good, and PanW is a great stock to trade in. I personally don't believe in cybersecurity because everything is hackable, and it doesn't even need to be hackable. Companies like Facebook just sell your data for money. So for me, cybersecurity does not exist. I'm sorry, just does not exist. It's a lie sold to people. Absolute beautiful lie wrapped up in a Christmas gift wrap sold to people. People eat it up. I love it. It gives me good trades to trade though. Gives me good trades to trade. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. Just trade off your levels, bruh. Yeah, man, I need to trade off my levels. I get too focused into the goddamn level 2. Fridays are dicey. Traders have to recoup or disguise their bad trades. You are 100% right. 100% hit the nail on that one. Jeez. Many thanks, Prad and chat crew. Yeah, thank you, chat. Chat's been quite active today. I like it. And been calling out some stocks, calling out some levels. Grub, Uber, Dash, lost core challenge and must pay 1796 in New York. Dash. I guess that's why Dash moved around today, huh? Yeah, Dash. People were talking about Dash a little bit. Dash moved up quite a bit yesterday and then a little bit more today, but then right back to the downside, ending red. Uber used to be on our watch list. We were waiting for this level to kind of come back into play. I guess it's that level. I'll just put a line over here real quick for myself to be kind of be interested in. Yeah, maybe we'll put one there. Yeah, we'll put one there right there. So kind of be interested in this 4650 area, I guess, on Uber at the moment on the way back up. You know what? Why not? Just so we're ready for it tomorrow in case it does come into play. That way we're not, you know, getting mixed up with putting in the lines and putting in our anchored VWAPs last second. Okay. All-nighter. Yeah, I'm not doing an all-nighter. I'm about to get off very soon. Did you look at BDN and PAGS and MPW and UCL? Okay, I'm looking. BDN. 2 million shares, not bad. Could day trade, not bad at all. Don't know the catalyst for it, but you know, it is trying to curl back up right now. Nice little bottom around 425 and breaking out of this 450. Looks like there is some moves towards the 100 period, 50 period EMA, towards this $4.73 or so, right back into the higher end of these ranges near $5. A possible move to $5 tomorrow even. I wouldn't be surprised by that, but you know, that would be kind of too much of a move, a 10%, 11% move. So if there is no real catalyst and an increase in relative volume, maybe that's a little bit too much to expect out of the stock. Right now there's a little bit of a bottom over here too, and we found rejection right around those bottoms. So let's see what happens tomorrow. We are finding rejection out of that bottom today. There's another area over here that we could kind of pop into right around those 50 period / 100 period EMAs, and at the higher end of these ranges at $5 for BDN. PAGS, what's going on with this one over here? Lower volume today than normal. The stock was kind of in play recently. I remember one of these days it was kind of in play. It's trying to continue its momentum off of these bottoms, I guess. So shout out to that. I don't know the catalyst for it, and too low of a volume for me to really be interested. I'm sorry. I want like stocks like $8 or $10 doing 50, 60 millions of shares. If it's only doing 2 million shares, I'm not that interested in this position, because I won't be interested. I won't be able to take the amount of volume that or size I want to in this trade. So PAGS, no trade for me. MPW 13 million. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. A little bit more volume on a smaller notional stock. It could mean that it could be worth the trade over here. We are seeing a little bit of a bottom come in around this $5 area. If for any chance you see a bottom at 5 come in tomorrow again, and not really pushing too much lower than 5, then you could lean on that 5 and get long, and break out off of 5 to the north side towards 550, higher than 550 up to 650. More upside to the north side is possible, but I don't know what the company does. I don't know what the catalyst is. I am just purely giving you some technical reads. All of this is not financial advice, obviously, so make sure you're always applying proper risk management on all these trades that I'm just mapping out for you at the moment. UCLL, don't see anything on there for myself. Next one is ENPH. I remember someone was talking about ENPH earlier. I thought ENPH was a $200 stock. Not anymore, I guess, because they are getting absolutely smacked to the downside. This semiconductor stock at the moment is sadly failing and giving up the ghost, but creating a really good bottom at these lows right now. Monster bottom being formed around this $117 area. Let's go to the 2-day VWAP. 2-day VWAP. Guys, I'm losing my voice. I've been talking nonstop for 2 hours now. Okay, this 2-day VWAP coming in right around over here now, or yesterday's VWAP coming in right around where support is being shown in the later half of the day. So let's look for more supports to come form around these prices. Today's VWAP and the 2-day VWAP right around this 119 area, 119.50 actually. So I won't be surprised if we see both of these VWAPs kind of meeting somewhere around 120, and we see the stock trading above 120 tomorrow for a possible extension to the north side. So kind of keep it on your watch list if you are interested in trading ENPH. It is forming a nice little bottom at those lows on what was that, 117, ENPH 117, and the next price point that I kind of was interested in was 119.50, if I remember correctly. That's where the anchored VWAPs were going into. Yeah, 119.50, 119.50/120. Where's my /120? Okay, so ENPH is mapped out. SLNO, we talked about that already. Dish made in profit. You're just talking about the profit for 3 years, quarters. Oh, you're talking about Dish because I was talking shit about Dish. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I just don't believe in Dish. No one buys Dish anymore. Let's be real, dude. Come on. Great show, Prad. Pran, who the hell is Pran? Love the recaps and getting the game plan for tomorrow. BA, yes, I already mapped out BA, John. I hope you caught that one. I also talked about ENPH. I think you were the one talking about ENPH. Comment on PFE. No, fuck PFE. No, I'm joking. I'll talk about PFE right now. What did you say about UCLL? I didn't see UCLL as a ticker, so maybe that's is that a stock? What is UCLL? Not sure what UCLL is. These charts aren't bearish. These charts aren't bearish. I like that. Thank you for the call out. TraderPrad, what does giving up the ghost mean? I'll tell you in a second. Let me just see if there's any other stocks over here I need to get. Okay, fair argument, but companies or government will still have to dump money into cybersecurity. Just my opinion. No, I get it. Look, I was not shitting on your opinion. I was just expressing my opinion as to what I think about investing in cybersecurity firms. I'm 100% wrong. I'm 100% wrong, right? Because if you didn't buy Pan W, you're not making money. Right? My opinion is sometimes fucks me in the ass. So that's what happened over here, and it will continue to, because I don't believe in cybersecurity. But I do like making money. So when the day trades show up, I will day trade them. I will 100% day trade them. PFE for our girl Momo. Let's go check out PFE. Another 52-week low coming in. Am I surprised? No, I'm not. I've been a little rude to Momo about PFE because I don't understand what's the hype behind PFE, right? If you do the research behind PFE, okay, if you do the research behind PFE, which I have done recently, most of their money, the top 3 drugs over here, are basically COVID vaccinations. No one's getting COVID vaccinations anymore, right? So negate the money from here moving forward. The rest of these drugs are almost nothing. They're very niche drugs, probably, and related to not that big of a mass, whereas COVID was. So the stock that we're talking about has had its valuations getting pumped up the way it did because of COVID, right? But now that that catalyst is done, you kind of forget about this position. In my opinion, you should. If you want to buy a drug stock, once again, my opinion, go buy Kenvue. Kenvue sells Tylenol, or J&J, which is part of Kenvue, or Kenvue, which is part of J&J, sells Tylenol, and it's a drug that everyone pops like it's candy. Oh, I have a headache, Tylenol. Oh, I have an ankle pain, Tylenol. Oh, I didn't ship properly last night, Tylenol. So it's, if you want to invest in drugs, I would say invest in drugs that get sold more. Sadly, that is where I see money, right? So Pfizer, I don't see money in Pfizer until they cure cancer, in my opinion. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. Now, ignoring the rant on Pfizer and only looking at the levels and pure technicals on the stock, the pure technicals are telling me the stock is not done going down yet. We are constantly making lower lows and lower highs, even within the inside day candles itself. Lower lows and lower highs incoming every single day as we're stair stepping down. This is a bearish stock, a bearish trend line, a bearish momentum, a bearish movement. If you're invested for the dividend for the long side, there's better dividend stocks out there, in my opinion, at the point where you're not watching the stock go to zero. I'm not saying Pfizer is going to zero, but you're not watching the stock go to zero, right? There's better stocks, in my opinion, that give out dividend that are not doing a straight trend line to the downside. In case for a day trade, you could possibly look for longs off of yesterday's lows, or a breakout long from yesterday's highs. And for tomorrow, kind of the same idea. Today's candle looks a lot like a doji candle, an indecision candle. So you could look for a breakout of today's high at 32.30 or 32.50 for a bigger move up, or a breakdown of $32 for a bigger move down. I don't know if I want to play that. The volume on this stock is not really exciting to me at the moment. The relative volume's not up, and the reasons to trades are not there. The catalysts are not there. So I'm just not. Gets Health Canada authorization for updated COVID-19 vaccines. No one's taking them, dude. Good luck with trying to get that one pumped into your system. But they make free money off that anyways, because Canada just pays them for free, right? So they make a little bit of money off of that deal, but I'm not buying anything from Pfizer. mRNA, look at Novavax. I mean, Novavax is a great example of what can happen to a company that sells COVID vaccines. Great example. This is exactly what could happen to Pfizer. right? BNTX. Isn't that BioNTech? I can go for all day on this rant. I can go all day on this rant. Apple Model 15 phones overheating to 230 degrees. AMC, GME, Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm not charting Bed Bath & Beyond, and I'm not charting AMC, but I will chart GME. That's a very good call. So I will chart GME. I think UCLL is the last one that you wanted me to. You didn't like ULCC. That's what it was. I thought it was UCLL. I couldn't find UCLL, but it's ULCC. There you go. Thank you. I couldn't find what the stock was. Okay, what is the stock? Frontier Group Airlines? They're crashing out the sky at the moment, man. A new all-time low coming in, crashing out the sky. I mean, if that bottom gets held, then there could be a trade there. But if that bottom doesn't hold, then you kind of want to close your trade and walk away from it, right? There could be a possible breakout over here to the north side. I don't know what the catalyst is. Clearly, what the catalyst has been pretty damning for the stock. I mean, for it to break that $7 and push all the way down over here, that has to be pretty bad news for ULCC, for Frontier Group over here. Let's see what happens, man. If they do break out of this, there could be some possible relief rallies, but I wouldn't be too interested. I mean, look at the trend of the stock. It is absolutely sell at the moment, sadly. Bed Bath & Beyond is not a ticker. He meant BBY. What is BBY? Best Buy? Man, why are we talking about Best Buy? Okay, let's look at Best Buy. Double bottom. I like that. I hate Best Buy, though. I hate Best Buy. Best Buy has scammed me so many times. I hate Best Buy. They're you know what? It's not Best Buy who scammed me. It's the Indian people who work at Best Buy, and they make money off of sales and commissions. So they go out of their way to scam you so they can push those stupid, not needed warranty deals and all those other garbage deals on you. So that's what made me hate Best Buy. I don't necessarily hate Best Buy, but I hate those people who work there because they're out there for their best interest, not for the customers. Now that rant's done, let's come back to Best Buy. Best Buy, nice little double bottom over here. I don't honestly see a trade in it for myself. I mean, look at the relative volume. Volume average 10-day volume 2 million. At volume today 1.3 million. If there is a nice little bump up in the average volume or relative volume for me, I might be interested in Best Buy. But right now, I'm not going to have it on my watch list. GME is something that we do want to have it on the watch list. And this, ladies and gentlemen, will be the last stock that we talk about today because I have to go eat some food. I've yet to eat dinner. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 p.m. I've yet to eat dinner, and I am starving, and my voice is dying. I've been talking for 2 hours. I hopefully went through a lot of levels for you guys, and hopefully you guys found some trades over there. But the GME, my last stock for today, traded this one pretty poorly. But this one's also on my watch list, so I thought I went over it. I guess I did not go over it because it's not on my watch list. So GME, let's see the 2-day VWAP. Where is the 2-day VWAP coming in at? Not there. Not here. We want it over here. 2-day VWAP off of the 930, and then we want the anchored VWAP from the earnings. So right around here. That's the earnings VWAP. And now we take a look at these two bad boys going into tomorrow. So that price point over there, right around 1720, looks a little interesting. Oh yeah, that's today's. That's the anchor view up that I had for today because it was coming from 2 days ago. I was like, where does that anchor view up come from? That's from today. And I did try some longs off that price point, but now we're gonna move that anchor view up out, and now we got these two anchor view ups to look out for. It looks like this price over here near $17.20. Something to keep an eye out for on GME if we do pop up to that, and then if we start rejecting off of that, shorts. If we start holding that as supports, longs. So watch out for that 1720 area on GME. That is the end of the stream. Economic calendar. What do we have tomorrow? We got core PCE. That's right, core PCE at 830. Today's 830 number actually moved the market quite a bit. That was pretty surprising to see. So core PCE coming in at 830. Chicago PMI coming in at 945. Michigan inflation number coming in at 10. Fed member Williams talking at 1245. Dude, why tomorrow? You guys don't have better days to go disturb the market? Like, go disturb the market on the weekends when the market's not moving, and let it, maybe not, because then market could kind of open up into like a Black Monday or something. We don't want that. Actually. Yeah, we don't want that. You know what? Yeah, come on in tomorrow. I'll just be a little bit lighter on my positions around these times. So make sure that you're keeping note of these times tomorrow. 8:30, 10 o'clock, 9:45. Pretty important time periods for in case the market moves one way or the other off of these numbers or any other catalyst. So watch out for that one. Tom saying yes to Black Monday. Wow, Tom, calm down. No Black Monday. You know what? Yeah, maybe bring in a Black Monday. Let's have a Black Monday. Let's have some fun with this one. Let's punch these shorts tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's not Monday. Let's punch these shorts on Monday. Let's have those amazing markets where the market basically opens up into a halt. Those were some days, man. Those were some days. The COVID days were something else. Okay, guys, no food in me. I'm running down with my broken ankle, getting some food, and then I'm gonna go get some rest because tomorrow it's time to not FOMO into trades and actually make $1 or $2. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, no stream tomorrow, obviously. All my links for my social media down below in the description. Also, my affiliate sponsors. If you do click on them and subscribe to any of these affiliate sponsors, you're helping me out. So thank you by doing that. And yeah, sign up to all of our social media. We're active on that side, and we will see you Monday. Have a great weekend. Have a great trading session. And try not to FOMO like I did today. Good night. Peace.